Hey everybody. Yeah, tell them what you think, girl. Tell them what you think. I agree. 100%. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. Welcome to my humble channel. All 194 wonderful, lovely subscribers. Please do that if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, like, comment. Tell me what you think. Made some changes yesterday again. As you can see, if you tuned in yesterday, you saw that I had this little thing right here, back here, and going across this way. Well, yesterday was quite a frustrating day, I'll have to say, in the animal world, in my animal world, because I had the chickens out. I let the Favrils out, right? They were loving life. Favrils were so happy. They were just clucking around. Well, as I suspicioned, because these chickens are not dumb. They may look kind of dumb, but they're not. They figured out that they could jump up on top of the kennel and get over into where the Favrils were, okay? Well, at first that wasn't a problem because the Favrils, those hardy girls, they held their own. They were actually fighting the other chickens, like aggressively fighting, not like starting the fights. And so the other chickens were leaving them alone. And then Oswald, the faithful rooster, he would come in and break up the fights when they would start fighting. It was really cracking me up. But anyway, so I gave up on trying to separate them and I just let them mingle because they seemed to be getting along pretty well. Well, I stayed down here for probably like 30-40 minutes just to make sure that no madness was going to ensue. And everything seemed kosher. Everyone was good. The Favrils were clucking around. These guys were clucking around. Everyone was happy. The Oswald got to consummate with some of the girls. It was, yeah, whatever. So I kept coming back down here periodically just to kind of check on them and see how they were doing. Well, I noticed that the Favrils had taken refuge in the hen house, right? Which is fine. So I came down once, they were in there. I came down another time, they were still in there. Came down a third time, they were still in there, and they were on the roosts. One of them laid an egg in the egg box in the hen house, so I thought that was pretty cool. But they wouldn't come out. They wouldn't come out of the hen house. I noticed every time I came down here, they were in the hen house. So I picked them up, and I took them over to this area over here and dropped them in here, and they went straight into their kennel. Well, all the other chickens had completely infiltrated their kennel. They had made it their own. They were eating out of their food thing. They were drinking out of their water thing. I'm like, share and share alike. That's fine. You know, have at her, kids. But they went straight into their kennel, and I think they started to get stressed. So I went ahead and closed them back up in their kennel and left them in there. Okay, well, that's the story of the Favrils. This criminal right here, dressed in black like a ninja, like a ninja. This chicken is actually a ninja. It looks like a chicken. Don't be fooled. So I had the kennels right here, right? If you looked yesterday, you can go back and review if you didn't. I just had them stretched across here to kind of make a little barrier between this area and this area so the Favrils could have this area and all the other chickens could have this acreage over here. Well, this one, Parabola, the criminal, kept jumping on top of the kennel and over this to come out here and cluck around in the big yard. Well, that's not authorized. We can't do that because, as you see, there is no barrier between my yard and neighbors' yards. So, you know, I know my neighbor doesn't care. She would not care. She would probably actually be absolutely delighted if my chickens were eating out of her yard because I think she kind of likes my chickens. But I feel rude letting my animals roam in other people's yards. That's why I have a fenced-in yard, and I would not have dogs until I had a fenced-in yard, because we have some neighbors that have dogs that run loose, and they do not mind the barriers of their property. So they come over and they like start frolicking in my yard, and then they come over and bark at my chickens, and then they go into my shed, and then they go up and around and harass my dogs, and then they stand here and then they bark at me. Really annoying, right? They're just little tiny dogs. What I call punt dogs, because I don't like little tiny dogs. The only dog that has ever like viciously bit me was a very small dog. So I'm not a fan of really tiny dogs. These are very tiny dogs, but they terrorize my chickens and my dogs, and that I'm not a fan of that. So I don't like my animals doing that. So when my dogs get out, I flip out because I don't want to inconvenience my neighbors. We had Daxter, my old man dog. He used to get out all the time, and he would run the neighborhood, and he would dig in trash. And I always thought that was so embarrassing and horrible because I don't like dogs digging in my trash. And so when my dog was doing it to other people, I felt really bad about it. So I would go and take trash bags and clean up their trash because, I mean, it's the right thing to do, right? But anyway, so Parabola was being a criminal. Oh, Ozzy's got his pimp walk back on. I'm impressed. Anyway, Parabola, the ninja chicken, she was jumping over, so I corralled her back in. Okay, we played that game at least 5 times. Parabola kept getting out, and I did not personally witness the chicken coming over the top of the coop, but upper management did. It said that he saw her flop like from up here and plop, 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 plop down here. So I think that's what she was doing and how she was doing it. That's why the cage has been moved, because I don't want my chickens to get away, and I don't want them to get eaten by small punt dogs, and I don't want the vultures to get them, because the vultures are swarming. Now see, Faddle is really concerning me. If you look here, you can see that she is very stationary. She's been acting weird, and you can see how like the feathers are all weird around her butt there. I think that's because she's been getting a little too much action from Mr. Oswald over here. But I'm concerned because she's being a little lethargic, so that worries me. It's a very cloudy day. I think there's a chance of rain. My neighbor, the one that I said I think she loves my chickens, she brought us watermelon for them. They're the rinds. I guess they'd had a watermelon, so I brought that down. As you can see, they love watermelon. They will eat this stuff down to just where there's nothing left. They clean them out. They love watermelon. So yeah, and it's good for them too. Well, what are you? Good Lord, man, that's a bit aggressive. Being a little aggressive on the comb. Oh, you need to, though. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, that needs a little attention. Get on it, Chip. Chip is apparently the beautician of the flock. Yeah, I noticed he had some kind of black weirdness on his comb yesterday. I don't know. I think they're good. So Favrils. The Favrils are over here. I just love these 2 chickens. I've really grown to love these guys. They're so awesome. So I changed their stuff up a little bit. I did have this thing like back in there, in that way. But I changed it up because the way the weather hits this building, if you notice, this side of the building looks like it's been through a flood, and this side of the building is pristine. Isn't that funny? It's because this side gets all the weather. So the wind comes whooshing in this way and hits this, and when it comes through this area, it's like a wind tunnel, and then it swoops around there. So this side right here hardly ever gets rain. This side gets pummeled, as you can see. And the other side over here, of course. But I faced it this way. That's probably a bad idea, because if I faced it the other way, then this would be getting... I might just switch this to the other side. Anyway, but I wanted to put it back here because there's no way that they can... Well, I mean, they can jump from there to there and then over, but I think it's less likely for them to do that. Because they never did it when it was sitting right here, when I had them facing this way. So maybe it was more like a runway when it was faced the other way, when it was going this way, so they could, you know, plop, 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 and then do their thing. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. So now I'm nervous about letting them out today. Yesterday was horrible. And then not only was I chasing chickens like it was some yakety sax moment all day, but my freaking hound dog, oh my God, you guys. My hound dog, Calypso, Callie Gator, took a 12-ounce ribeye steak off of the counter. Okay, guys, I lost my mind, okay, because things are a little tight, right? Yeah, I think everybody's feeling that right now. Things are a little tight. It was a $15 piece of meat, and it was leftover, right? I put it on a plate with the mushrooms and onions, which were delicious, and the green beans, which were yummy. And I was really excited about this because I was like, oh wow, I can have this for lunch tomorrow. Maybe upper management can have it for breakfast. He likes steak and eggs. No, freaking dog, man. Oh my God. I was so... it took me like an hour to get over it. I was very angry. Very, very angry at the dog. Because she's a counter surfer. We know this. She's a criminal. We know this. She's an opportunist. She will manipulate you. She's a horrible dog. So we know this. Well, she was broken for a little bit and she couldn't jump. Like she had injured her shoulder and she couldn't like jump up on things. So I got out of the habit of pushing things back from the edge of the counter because she wasn't doing that anymore. And she started doing it again, and I had been doing really well with keeping things back from the edge of the counter because I knew that she was back in thief mode. And now she has taken a 12-ounce ribeye steak off of the counter that was absolutely delicious. It was pan-fried, cast iron skillet, lots of butter, garlic. Oh my God, you guys, they were so good. Oh, I'm getting mad again. I need to stop talking about it. Okay, we'll just not talk about it. So that the hound dog is outside now because she's been exiled because that really, really bothered me. So yeah, can barely afford dog food right now and we're eating 12-ounce steaks. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, there you go. That was my Saturday, chasing chickens and nearly killing hound dogs. So yeah. Good times. All right, guys. I've rambled on long enough. As usual, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Do your thing. Do your thing. Let me know what you guys are doing this weekend. I hope everyone has wonderful plans. It's very temperate here. It's very cool. Feels good. Kind of humid. It'll be all right. Bye, guys.